let's make sure that we're live before I get into it. Let me check. Yes, there we are. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another special edition of The Breakthrough Show. My name is Jessica Dugas, and I am the host of The Breakthrough Show, and you're watching another special edition. I've got my friend Kathleen here today, and I'm going to let her say her last name for you because I'm lucky I figured out how to spell it after the last couple of weeks. It's been a fun time. I want to take a minute and welcome everybody that's jumping on live with us right now. Hello, Crystal. Hi, Genevieve. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And also, if you're on the replay, give us a hashtag replay in the comments of the video so that we can say hello to you on the replay of the video as well. It is Wednesday, August 14th, 2019, and I'm so excited to be on this special edition episode this evening with my friend, Kathleen. And Jen's saying that she loves your hair today, Kathleen. It's on point. So let me tell you a little bit about Kathleen. For over 2 decades, Kathleen has supported women who desire to align with their inner truth, step into their intuitive feminine power, and live the life of their dreams by connecting to the most potent gift on earth, their voices. Now, to Kathleen, what she does has a really special place in my heart because, as many of you guys know, music has been a big part of my life for my whole life. And every time I talk about what Kathleen does, I'm brought back to my favorite Disney movie, The Little Mermaid, and the witch says, "What I want is your voice." And so that moment of realizing what power the voice has and what it means in that movie, it meant so much to me as a child. And so to know that Kathleen uses that that power that we know is there in the voice to help women all over the world, it's so meaningful to me. So welcome to the show, Kathleen.
Thank you for having me, Jessica.
I'm so excited to finally have you on. We've kind of been going around and around on this for a little while.
Oh,
and I'm excited to have you here. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about, your history with the voice and with music and how you got to do what you do today.
Well, I've been involved with music all of my life. My parents owned a music store. And I grew up singing and dancing and performing in shows. And then I went off to college where I studied music and I became a music teacher. And then I unfortunately had an accident and I had to leave that career. And I worked my way through my own type of rehab, going back to what my teachers had taught me about human physiology and about the voice and a lot of different alternative therapies. That's how I found Reiki and later became a Reiki master. And I used all of those different techniques to heal myself. It took about 11 years before I was able to get up in front of an audience and perform and be pain-free. And as I was going through my Reiki practice, my self-Reiki practice, what would happen would be I would just start just making these noises and just singing or keening, and depending on where you're touching and what Reiki chakra points you're touching. And sometimes it was just a high-pitched thing, and then other times I would just end up crying. And what I was doing was I was purging, and I realized I was using the voice to move the energy through my body.
It sounds like it took you a minute to see that connection. And that was my experience as well. Like when I first got my Reiki master certification and all of that, there was no music involved. There was no sound involved or anything like that. But now it's like as time has gone on, I've seen how much there is that connection there for me, and so it's really a beautiful discovery to see everything sort of come together. How how do you specifically use the voice? How did you specifically use the voice in your healing journey?
Mhm. What I did was I spent a lot of time first in meditation and just using the voice as a starter for affirmations. Something that I do with people is I have them start humming, because so many of us are shut down in our voice. We're always told to be quiet, and especially the women in the audience
Right.
will, I'm sure, relate to this of saying, okay, well, later, and you're always putting yourself last. So you almost don't have a voice because you're always putting everyone in front of you, let alone, whatever may be going on in the world at the moment. So I start everybody, and I started myself just with humming and going from a hum into an actual sound, like just an ah, nice open ah type of a sound, like
you can feel that the vibration comes right to you. Yeah.
Yeah. You can just feel the vibration go through your body and out to everyone else. Now there are other ways of making sound. You can make, singing bowls, and people use tuning forks and other instruments, and that helps as well. But what I found is that creating the sound inside your body shifts the energy that much faster.
It's really interesting that you say that, because I've got a singing bowl, and I have a piano that I sit down at quite often, and that just listening to that and playing through some things that I'm shocked I remember after so long. It really is a healing experience. But that said, I had a BHQ session with Lori Auger, one of our panelists from the regular season, and one of the things that came out in that session was that I needed to get back to using my voice, and that it would facilitate my healing and my physical healing in such a bigger way. So I can definitely see that. And you can feel that for any of you that are watching, when you hum, or when you even just listen to Kathleen hum, you can feel that vibration, and the sound is just so incredibly healing. So that was your experience then, is just using the voice in that way. And you said it took 11 years. Was that something, was there frustration in there of like, why is this taking so long?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. There was a ton of frustration, and actually there was a point in my life where I didn't associate myself with music or voice or performing or speaking in front of groups or teaching at all. It was as if I cut that part of me out. So
Yeah.
I had this energetic disconnect there, and I had that for about 5 or 6 years, because I was just in the bitterness and the depression and the angst and the saying, oh, everything I worked for, it's all down the drain. What am I going to do now? And what's my next career? And what am I going to make of my life? And I was kind of wallowing in it, as we can do, and you get those tapes in your head. And I was working at a bank at the time, and my boss asked me to sing for Christmas at her church. And I was saying, I haven't sung professionally in years, and I didn't even hum in the office. That was it. I played no music at home. It was cut out. It was gone. And I said, what am I going to do? Okay, well, I can't back out. I have to say yes. I can't say no. And I just had this epiphany and said, well, you know what? You're in pain anyway, and why not give it a shot? You have nothing to lose.
Yeah. And
so that's what started me back on the road.
So it's so interesting to hear that you weren't obviously you weren't at 100% at that point. Like you were still like in a space of like not feeling, like you should be doing this because of where you're at physically. And so, but you did it. And I think, and I really want to kind of stay in that space of talking about the amount of time that it took you, because there's so many, I talk about this all the time in my work, like how we often want things so fast. We don't give ourselves credit for how many years it took us to get to the point that we're at.
Yes.
And when we do that, we're sort of, then we're discrediting like the whole journey, everything that we've been through.
Yeah.
And so when I talked to Shiraz on the special edition last week, and he does energetic magic, and everything is in that split moment. When I talk to him though, it very much is a situation of, if someone's not ready, if they're still hanging on to stuff.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what modality, whether you're using your voice, energetic magic, Reiki, it doesn't matter. If you're not ready to make that shift, then it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that. If you're not in the space where you are vibrating at the same level of what it is that you want to attract into your life, you think about the law of attraction. You can wish all you want, and you can practice whatever it is you want to say, as many affirmations as possible. But if you haven't let go, and if you're not operating in that space, then the divine can't step in and give you the gift.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I think we're really quick to give up on things, or switch to another modality, or go to the next thing, because we're like, oh, this isn't working. It's us that's not working.
Yeah.
Right.
So often people get very frustrated early on, especially with voice work, because so many of us have been told, oh, you don't sound good, you can't sing with the choir, just lip sync or whatever it is, we don't want to stand up in front of the class in high school and do a talk. Now we're on live video. Come on.
Yeah. It's so funny that you said lip syncing this morning. My husband was driving me back home after an appointment, and a song came on, and he goes, that sounds like Milli Vanilli. And so I put on Milli Vanilli, and we were listening to Girl, You Know It's True in the car. And then we got to talking about, remember what a huge thing it was when Milli Vanilli got caught lip syncing.
Yes.
And then I'm sitting here, because I'm so evolved and higher thinking now.
Oh, sure. I'm past that.
I'm so way up here. I was thinking to myself though, I hadn't thought about this before. Imagine, because I know a little bit of the story, and how that they were singing, and the manager or whoever was basically like, dude, you can't like, and imagine though how he felt in that moment, to be, he thinks he's going to make it big on his voice, and then to be told, sorry, you kind of suck.
Yeah, sorry, it's one person's opinion,
right?
And then that brings in the fear, and then that's what gets people to agree to things like, I will pretend and I will lip sync, because I'm going to accept your judgment of me, that I'm not good enough,
right?
And so we shut down literally he shut down his own voice. And instead of, the manager saying, hey, you know what? We need to get you a voice coach.
Right.
Because unless you have a medical problem, there is no reason why you can't sing freely. There's no reason why anybody can't. It's just like bees. Certain things in nature shouldn't happen. Like the bees' wings are way too small to carry their body weight.
Right.
That's how humans are with the voice. It's just some pieces of cartilage moved back and forth with some muscles and ligaments over your windpipe.
So what do you say to someone though that comes to you and says, Kathleen, I can't, can't use my voice to heal anything because it looks like people are dying when I sing.
Oh,
So I think some of it really is a self-confidence thing, but what do you say to people like that? Like if someone really truly believes that they have a lousy voice, is it still possible for them to use the voice as a method of healing?
mm-hmm. They can. It does take longer because you have to make that mind shift. And usually on people's last stop, they've tried everything else. They've tried, because like you said, they go from one thing to the next, and they never really give anything a chance.
Right.
So that right now you have, I went to Reiki, and then I went to Access Consciousness. And then from there, I went to Jessica, and she did some intuitive readings for me. And then I left Jessica, and then I went over here and I went to the nutritionist who told me that I really needed food. And then I went to a different type of a doctor who told me I needed some kind of a medication. And none of these things have worked. So I'm usually the last stop for people.
Yeah.
And they don't normally think of their voice as a healing method. And they come in, they say, look, I've tried everything else. I don't know what else to do. And I tell them what you tell people in acting: suspend disbelief. You know, you go into a movie and you're suspending your disbelief, right? Because if you want to really enjoy Harry Potter, you got to believe.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Come on in, we start really slow. I'm very low pressure. You know, I look like a diva, but I'm just a good person.
Hey, and that's what I wore. My shout out to my friend Lori. I wore my very blingy earrings today because I had to keep up with the diva that is Kathleen.
Here I am. Yes. I have my leopard print and my tiger eye and peridot for August. For all those Leos out there, and the matching earrings, of course. But I just have a matchy fixation. I'm really very down to earth. I'm quite funny, as Jessica knows. She's laughing right now. And we just kind of take it from there. And we make a lot of silly noises. We start off with what are known as embryonic sounds. Embryonic sounds are the sounds that babies make. So we've all done it as babies, so we can do it now. So we can all hum, and we can all say ah, and we can all sigh. Oh, he's so dreamy.
And that feels good.
Had a tough day. And that's how you start to get people to move through things. People who are very heavy emotionally, you do like that grunting thing, like, okay, everybody pretend you're going to lift the piano off the floor. Don't really do it. Don't want you to hurt yourself, but pretend you're going to lift the piano off the floor. And then all of a sudden, you know, and so you do like grunting and groaning and sighing and yawning. Ooh, hi Jessica, so nice to see you today. Just to get people to use their voice, because when you're running from this one to that one, you have no focus. And like you said, they want results fast. So if you want results fast, if you go back to something that you've known, like, you know, I'm older than I look. So let's say I've known how to sigh for well over 40 years now. I can do that. And then a lot of the people that I work with aren't singers, or they're not performing. They're not looking to be on stage. They're just regular people. And we have this mentality of, I'm speaking and I'm just talking to you, Jessica, and this is normal, and this is me, and this is what I can do. No, I'm singing. I'm talking over here. I'm singing. I'm talking. I'm singing. So we think of singing and other ways of using your voice as being different than just speaking and sharing.
It's so awesome to you're so much fun. I love you so much. But we talk so often about connecting to our inner child as well, and to allow ourselves to have fun. And those are the things that I see my little ones doing. Like they'll be going around the house and they'll be like, I'm playing with Peppa Pig, you know, and they'll just be singing the whole time. And so it really, like, we think, oh, this is silly, but it connects us. It connects us to that child within us that needs so desperately to be loved, you know?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. I feel sad in my heart that I spent so long in a place of just loving music and enjoying music, and it got to that point of where, you know, then you're an adult now and you get a job and you've got your children and you're married, and you know, you can stop singing like you're Mary Poppins all over the house now, you know, and so they were
I do that.
it reminds me though, like it makes me sad because we allow ourselves as adults to get away from that playfulness and that connection to how special our voice is. Like you said in the beginning, so many of us were told to, you know, you can't do music or be quiet or you're not, you know, it doesn't matter what you say, and we get away from those things, and I think you're giving us all a beautiful reminder today to reconnect with that joy that is the voice in whatever way that looks like for you, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when someone comes to you, you know, and say if someone was not a singer and didn't have a reason they had zero desire to sing in front of people, they want to sing in the shower and that's it, maybe. What are some of the things they can work with you on, Kathleen?
Oh yeah, I work with all the same things that I would with somebody who does want to get up on stage and sing in front of people, because the foundation of anything is the same. Once you have a good firm foundation, you can do anything with it. If you want to just sing in the shower for the rest of your life, if you want to get up at karaoke, I work with people who don't read music at all. And I work with people who are actively performing, who read music and can sight read anything that I give them. And you need to meet people where they are, but as a teacher, as a mentor, you have to give the foundational elements. And those are the same, whether you want to sing at home for fun or whether you want to stand up on stage.
It's interesting to hear you say that, because I think it's hard for a lot of people that aren't a singer, or maybe have never even, you know, like I said, in the shower or in the car, and that's about it, to consider that, to say, can the voice really help me in my life, even if I've never been a singer before?
Right, absolutely. I have people who come to me and they want to learn how to speak for their business. They're just starting out and they want to learn how to do a Facebook Live, and they're not sure how to say what it is they do for a living.
That's an interesting one.
Effectively.
Yeah. My husband is not a I've been trying to get him. He's so good at what he does, but he's like, you put a camera on him and that's it. Like,
yeah, people freeze. They see the little red dot or the little green dot, and all of a sudden the world changes. It's like speaking and singing, you know, it's the same thing. Right. So all of a sudden I'm out of my element. What made this any different? But you give them a space to rehearse, a space to really tune into their heart space and say, is this my message? This is what the core of what I want to say. And then also run them through some questions and dry runs. Okay, who is your program for? Who is it not for?
Right.
What do they need to do to prepare, if anything? Do they wear anything special? It's Reiki. Do I have to take off my clothes?
Yeah.
No, it's Reiki. You don't have to take off your clothes. It's okay.
Noted.
Right. You know, you don't know who people have different traumas in their life experience. So you want to make sure that they have a clear basis of what it is you're doing.
Right.
And so then I did a lot of things with color. So I use color therapy in my work. and I used intuitive guidance and my tarot cards and oracles, and that kind of puts people at ease, but it all works in together to really tap into the subconscious, the inner child. The shadow is a lot of shadow work, because when you're working with the voice, you can't hide.
Right.
So it's very connected to identity.
I love how you sort of meld together all of the different things that you love as well. That's something that has become very important to me in my work as well. I like a lot of things. I'm very multi-passionate in the things that I love, and I love that I'm getting to this space that we've connected, and I'm getting to this space now myself where I want to start getting back to my voice and doing those things. And then I've got you now, and then we have that. So it's an awesome thing. But as Kathleen mentioned, she loves a lot of things like I do, and one of the things that she is incredible at is reading tarot. And she is going to share. Would you share a card for everybody today?
Oh, sure.
Let's see what message Kathleen has first.
Yeah, sure. So I have them here, and I'll shake them up and let's see what we get. Sometimes they just fly out. You know, Jessica, you've seen this, right? Sometimes they just fly out, and that's the message that we're supposed to have today. Okay. Oh my. All right. This is the Page of Pentacles. And Pentacles have to do with your physical life, as well as the abundance around you, because that's what Pentacles represent. The 4 elements and the spirit. So you have earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and the bounty of the earth. And the Page is a young person. So they're just kind of starting out on their journey, which is perfect for what we're talking about today. We're talking about people who are just coming into learning about their voice power. And this is about keeping your eye on the prize. Look, the Page is kind of holding that very gently. Oh, it's something new, and it's very, very important to her. And it's a very delicate relationship right now. And that is exactly what the voice is about. But the voice is the best manifestation vehicle that you have. Being able to speak up for yourself in a situation is priceless.
So Kathleen's saying, and the Page is saying, don't be scared to use your voice. It's precious and it works. It works. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for that, Kathleen. I would love for you to take a few minutes and share with everybody about what you have going on, how they can work with you, where they can find you. Tell them about your group and everything. Give them the goods.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You can find me at my website, www.KathleenGuibitosi.com. There are a lot of vowels, so I know Jessica's going to post it for everyone. On my website, you can access my free gift. Now, total transparency, you are signing up for an email list. I believe in transparency, but you're signing up because I'm going to be emailing you a 6-part video course that I call the magic of melody. And melody is the first thing that we learn to work with as children. So working through that, embryonic sounds, going back to the young child, and waking up the melody in your voice is what the course is about. And it's free. You'll get 6 video modules, 1 every week, along with handouts. I also run a group on Facebook, which is called the Voice and Biz Alchemy Group. You can find me there. I do free teachings in the group as well as on my YouTube channel.
Awesome. I love, and Kathleen's group is so much fun, you guys. When Kathleen has a party for something, she has a party for something, and and it's so much fun. Anytime that I've participated in anything in her Voice and Biz Alchemy group, it has just been a blast, and the participation is great. And Kathleen always has. I love how you're just so down to earth with everything and having fun with it, and it's so much of business, and especially being entrepreneurs is so serious, right? It's like, okay, it's time to get to work. We're our own boss. But I just love how you keep everything so lighthearted, and it makes it fun again,
Thank you.
Why I think many of us got into business for ourselves to begin with is to have that what we wouldn't have had in the office, right?
Exactly.
I love it. So Kathleen, thank you so much for sharing with us today. And also make sure that you guys check out the book Shine. You can find it on Amazon by Inspired Living Publishing. That's actually how I met Kathleen, was we're co-authors in that book. And Kathleen tells about her story in there of healing, which is so awesome as well. And of course, be sure to visit her at her website that I've listed in the description of this video. And I appreciate you joining me today, Kathleen. It was so much fun to finally get to sit and chat with you.
It was. Thank you so much for having me, Jessica.
Absolutely. And thank all of you for joining us today. Be sure to tune in this Friday, August 16th, 2019 at 12 p.m. Central Time for our regularly scheduled episode of The Breakthrough Show. We've got Chris Burns on this week, you guys, who is completely amazing. If you guys have ever seen the 12-hour marathon podcast on Wednesdays, every Wednesday he does a 12-hour podcast. You got to tune in because he's so high vibe. He's live right now. He's so high vibe. He's so incredible. And he's going to be talking to us about taking empowered responsibility in our lives. So it really does piggyback nicely off what we've been talking about today, because whether you're using your voice or any other modality, you've got to take that empowered steps, the empowered responsibility in your life to want things to change in order for anything you do to work. So it's going to be an awesome show. Make sure you tune in. I'll have Crystal Cockerham joining me for the show, Lori Auger, and also Siri Ridenauer. So it's going to be an incredible show, and I can't wait to see you then. Kathleen, thank you again, my friend. It was so awesome to have you here, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.